Right now on the Primetime News at 9, a house fire turns into a murder investigation. There's a new lawsuit to keep the Sonics in Seattle, plus an exclusive interview with the father of the boy burned in a fire pit. The Primetime News at 9 starts now.
Coming up, parents say their special needs kids are being ignored in school. Their fight for a fair education.
Rats take over this home, leaving city officials with just one choice.
Like father, like son, police arrest a pair for their disturbing criminal plots.
Idol gives back inspires Britney Spears to do the same. How much she dropped for charity.
And upfront at 9:30, do companies in Oklahoma hire illegal workers? And if they don't, why are they worried about 1804?
Well, the day two of the Masters have a tiger roaring near the top of the leaderboard. I'll answer that question later on the Sports Wrap. We're back in 60 seconds.
Right now on the Primetime News at 9, why the Sonics could be staying in Seattle. A long war turns into a long wait for families.
And some strong thunderstorms are possible starting tonight. The Primetime News at 9 starts now.
It's Oklahoma City. It's the remembrance of the bombing memorial.
Lived in Oklahoma City during the bombing, and so it's very touching to be out here and to be around the survivor tree and to see the whole memorial. So this has been a great experience.
Thousands of runners take to the streets to remember the victims of the Oklahoma City bombing. 168 banners line the marathon course, one for each victim of the bombing. Runners are helping raise money to honor those victims.
It's pretty overwhelming just to see the number of people who'll come out, even in this weather that's not as pretty as we'd hoped.
Organizers say this marathon is not about running, it's about life and taking time to celebrate every day. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Britton Follett.
And I'm Matt Austin.
$20,000 worth of photography equipment and rob a couple of their wedding photos. Tonight, the photographer tells us after seeing the surveillance video on Fox 25, the bad guys called him to give back the equipment. This is an ongoing investigation, so police are not releasing much information about the suspect, but we do know the bride and groom can finally look at their wedding photos. Lawmakers are sweetening the pot to bring the Seattle Supersonics to Oklahoma City. A House committee voted for a tax incentive package for the team today. It would let the Sonics get a 5.5% rebate of income taxes paid to the state. That means the state would return about $60 million to the team over the 15 years. The measure now moves to the full House for consideration.
A car lover's dream becomes reality at the International Auto Show this weekend. The show boasts 5 different buildings with makes and models of all kinds. Making appearances at this year's auto show includes the Ferrari and Aston Martin. The show also introduces new concept cars such as the Chrysler Hollywood, Jeep Gladiator, and the Ford Mustang Bullitt.
You're not hassled by all the dealers, so you get time to look around and at your leisure, and pretty much not be rushed, and take your time and see exactly what type of vehicles there are out there. So.
The annual event also had a virtual NASCAR racing experience as well as an off-road test track with man-made hills.
This week marks the 5th anniversary of the war in Iraq. The Associated Press reports almost 4,000 troops have died since that war started. Today, hundreds of people walked for peace and rallied for an end to the war.
The Court of Criminal Appeals is ordering a new sentencing trial for Kerry Littlejohn. Littlejohn appealed his case, saying he was poorly represented. Witnesses say his attorney, John Albert, had a drinking problem and checked himself into rehab a year after the conviction. Littlejohn killed Greg Rogers during an armed robbery in 2002. He was the only one who got the death penalty. The court upheld the conviction but threw out the penalty. The new sentencing trial has not yet been set. Face arson charges after an early morning fire in the metro. This is at Wood Park Apartments on North Portland. No one was hurt, but police arrested 5 people. 2 of them are minors. Officers say they set the fire, stole items, then tried to resell what they stole at a pawn shop.
Well, the parents.
Every girl deserves to look and feel like Cinderella on prom night.
Sure they do. We first told you about Cinderella's Closet on Friday night. The owner of Nearly New Store organized a dress drive to give free prom dresses to girls who can't afford them. Girls got to choose from hundreds of dresses when Cinderella's Closet opened its doors earlier today.
The response was wonderful. We had excellent volunteers who just made it a fun and upbeat event, and it was fun. It was great.
And there are still a few dresses out there in need of a home this prom season. For more information, call 848-4141. And don't forget.
4 OSU fraternity members accused of hazing enter plea. Jason Taylor, Joshua Gorey, Mitchell McCowan, and Michael Combs all pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor hazing charge. They're accused of beating pledges with paddles and other items. As part of their sentence, the men will have to write a paper on hazing, pay a fine, and perform community service. OSU has since banned the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity.